Chica, can you hear me?
That's Freddy, you idiot. So right now, I'm hard at work on a video. I'm drawing, I'm recording, I'm editing, all that fun stuff. However, something stopped me dead in my tracks. Usually I work on videos one at a time. Like I start a video and I don't start another one until I'm completely done with the first one. It's a very linear workflow. So very rarely do I completely stop the process right in the middle and jump to something else. However, I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. I finally saw it. I've been a little late to the game here. I saw it about a week after it hit theaters, which is still decently early, but not quite early enough to be a part of that big initial collective reaction. All the YouTubers that were going to talk about it have already put out their videos, so I wasn't planning on making a discussion video on it at all. I didn't even do it with the first one, so it wasn't even a thought in my mind. That's where my head was when I entered the theater. However, exiting the theater, hi, Maple. Exiting the theater, I was immediately like, I have to make a video about this movie. I have to. I literally have to. I don't care that I didn't do it the first time. I don't care that I'm a little late, very late, and won't have a very valuable perspective on it. The urge to talk about this movie is just too strong. This is really for me above anything else. This is a Thai video. This is for my own fun. So here I am. This is going to be a sort of scripted, sort of not scripted kind of thing, with like some editing. I don't know. Just watch the fucking thing if you want. I don't know. Also, I'm going to be talking openly about this movie, so expect spoilers. Here, big red text on the screen, just so you don't miss it. Spoiler video. Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt, bizaboners, if you still even remember that name. So I think all of you watching this can agree that generative AI sucks. Not only has AI made the internet an overall way more dangerous and confusing place, but it also ruined a ton of creative online spaces that artists used to flourish in by flooding it with worthless garbage. If you yourself are an artist who posts their work online and just wants to get away from all the mindless slop, you might want to consider checking out today's sponsor, Unvale. Unvale is an artist-made platform that outright bans the posting of AI-generated images, meaning everything here is made by passionate human beings who just want to share their work. What it specializes in, though, is the creation and sharing of original works of fiction, including characters, stories, and general artwork related to it. With the site's tools, you can create profiles for your original characters and sort them further into entire worlds, which essentially acts as an easy way to flesh out entire storylines with them. While other sites incentivize number chasing, competition and conflict, and overall playing the game of their algorithms, Unvale instead motivates users to discover each other's work with the Explore tab and featured work sections, collaborate with the ability to directly credit others for their work and contributions, and overall inspire each other with site-wide activities like the question of the day. My favorite part of Unvale, though, is the character market, where you can buy, sell, and trade adoptables directly through the site, which I think is really cool. Another great thing about Unvale, though, is that it's completely free to use. You can make an account and start uploading your work right now, in fact. If that's something you're interested in, head to unvale.io and get to creating. Thank you to Unvale for sponsoring me again. You guys are great as always. Now let's get back to the video. So just a little background. I liked the first movie. When I initially watched it, I felt a lot more negatively towards it. I was pretty disappointed when I first came out of the theater, in fact. But upon further watches, it grew on me. It's not a good movie. It's fairly bad as a piece of cinema, but as a FNAF fan who loves these characters, loves the world, loves happiness and whimsy, I enjoyed it. I could at least see what they were going for, even though I had a lot of criticisms towards the way things were handled and written, and I could appreciate it based on those terms at least. I could kind of shut my brain off and have fun with the movie, you know? So when the second movie was announced, I was very stoked. Seeing the animatronics and set design in the first one was so fun. The Jim Henson creature fuckers, or whatever they're called, did an incredible job artistically. I loved how perfect the main four looked. Also, I thought a lot of the cast did a great job too with the script they were given. Piper Rubio, Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, they all put their hearts in it, at least as much of their hearts as they could put in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. They had very enjoyable performances, despite it all. So I was like, hell yeah, I'd love to see them all do FNAF 2. Like, of course I want to see all the toys and the wizards given this same treatment. Like, I'm ecstatic. And when they started releasing trailers and teasers and such, it got me even more hyped up. I was like, oh my god, the set of the new Freddy location is beautifully done and sets the vibe so perfectly. I'm excited to see more Matthew Lillard. Oh my god, the toys look so good. Oh my god, the wizards look so good. I'm going to come. And to add to it all, with all the behind-the-scenes statements that they were making, they were taking all the criticism from the first one into account, and that they were going to go more in on the horror aspects. It instilled some hope in me that they might actually improve upon the first one as, like, a film. Like, this might end up being more solid all around. This is how Freddy can still win. And then, the critic review scores hit. And they were bad. Again. The first one had a pretty low critic score, but this one was, like, even lower. So at this point, I was like, okay, so looks like they probably didn't improve much then. The prospect of this one being a lot better of a film than the first, just gonna say that's not happening. It's out the window. But you know what? That's fine. I just decided to set my expectations to, I'm going to enjoy it about the same amount as the first one. It's going to be a bad movie on its own, but as a FNAF fan, I'll be able to get enough out of it for me to enjoy the movie all around. And gosh darn it, that's good enough for me. And then the movie came out, and actual FNAF fans started seeing it. And a lot of them also hated it. At least for the most part. Everyone I was seeing on my Twitter feed was saying it was worse than the first one. So, fuck. But you know what? I didn't let it bother me. I still held out hope that I could at least get as much out of it as the first one. At the very least, if it ended up being utter dog shit, I would still have the cool sets and animatronics to look at. I'd still get to enjoy the artistry of the prop work and feel the novelty of seeing the toys and the wizards up on screen. That's a shoo-in. I already saw what they looked like from the trailers anyway. Will be good as long as they don't, like, secretly swap them out with the Gmod models behind her back or something. So I went to see it with my girlfriend and a group of friends. I was excited. I was so ready to see what this thing had to offer. So the movie starts, and immediately there's this little cold open sort of thing where William Afton is, like, on stage talking to a crowd of kids and presumably introducing an animatronic show. And I was like, yes, Matthew Lillard, frame one. I love it. I'm so hyped. And the opening scene starts with, like, this bright, flashy, vintage Freddy Fazbear's location that we've never seen before. And there's, like, the carousel from FNAF 2 and this weird water ride thing. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm so ready to see the rest of this movie. And then dialogue starts happening. And suddenly I'm reminded, oh yeah, this is written by Scott Cawthon. Like, immediately that Scott stank drafts in. It fills my nostrils, and I am, like, jolted out of my excited state. I don't know what it is, but there's this particular, like, awkwardness to the way he writes dialogue. It's difficult to put into words, but it's like this weird, like, kind of stilted, like, alien way of talking. Like, it feels like dialogue I would have written when I was, like, 10. When I thought I knew the nuances of conversation. Particularly the line that really got me, it was, like, one of the first lines of dialogue. It was like, you look like someone who could use Freddy Faz Cola. My girlfriend pointed out that this feels like a line written by Tim Robinson, and that honestly hits the nail on the head.
I'll never forget the day that I told you that I bought Jim Davis's house, the creator of Garfield. He just sat there and stared at me. Like, I didn't just tell you that I bought Jim Davis's house.
The first movie definitely had the awkward, corny Scott writing. There was some particular standout lines. I remember, like, If you ever bring Abby back here again, I will shoot you. But something about FNAF 2, like, there is so many more of these. I don't know how we did it, but Scott was, like, farming stupid, unintentionally funny lines this time around. I'll point them out as I go, but just, you'll see. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so opening scene of the movie, we have Charlotte, this lonely, sad kid that really likes the puppet. Like, the movie implies she's bullied by the other kids or something, and she acts like she has no friends but the puppet. But, like, we see child Vanessa talking to her and being really nice to her the whole scene, and, like, she's like trying to include her and stuff. So, like, what? What do you mean you don't have friends?
They all hated me.
So she looks over and she sees the yellow rabbit, like, behind doors, and he abducts a kid. And I gotta say, I really love his presence in this opening. He's really, like, intimidating and freaky. The suit looks great. I love the sound effects they use for him. I love the way he moves. It's really cool. I was like, yes, okay, this is sick. Let's go. We're back. FNAF shit. We're in it now. But once more, I am ripped out of this state almost immediately. This happened throughout the entire movie. It was me violently fluctuating between, like, yes, cool FNAF shit is happening on screen. Oh my god, this looks so good. To desperately holding in laughter in the theater because some fucking insane shit is happening or being said on screen. So, like, Charlotte is panicking. She just saw a child abducted, and she tries to tell the adults. And for some reason, like, every adult she talks to is, like, incredibly aggressive for absolutely no reason. Like, she's like, oh my god, a child is in danger. You need to help me. And the first guy she talks to is like, go tell your parents. Like, what the fuck? She talks to, like, 4 adults, and they're all so mean to her for, like, no reason. Like, I think what they were trying to go for was portraying how children are often not taken seriously enough when they should be. Like, especially young girls. Like, when something serious happens or they're in distress, adults often treat them as dramatic or hysterical. Like, that would be a really interesting thing to tackle here. However, they didn't do it in a way that makes sense or feels even, like, the tiniest bit realistic. Like, she could have been like, oh my god, Bonnie is taking a kid away, help. And, you know, the adults could have been like, oh, she's just playing a game again. What an act of imagination. Or like, I'm sure she did, sweetie. Isn't she so cute? And not like, get the fuck away from me. So no one listens to her. She goes to save the boy herself, ends up getting killed by William, and falls into the puppet pit. And there's actually this, like, pretty cool shot of, like, the puppet holding her body and rising out of the platform. The puppet looks great, by the way. I love how they altered the puppet mask, like, just a little bit from the game to have sadder eyes. I think it really works well for this shot, especially. It's just really cool to see this long, spindly thing in real life. It's so rad. Wow, I'm really excited to see this unique animatronic creature move around and kill people for the whole movie. It's gonna look so cool to have this animatronic doing cool shit. This animatronic, right? I'm excited to see more of this animatronic, right? So, in the lore, this event, the killing of the child, where they saw her with 3 stab wounds after leaving the backstage and no one, like, cared enough to go, like, help her or see what caused it. Apparently, the news said it was an accident. They specifically say the girl was blamed for it. It was her fault. She went somewhere she wasn't supposed to, and this accident happened. But, like, she had 3 stab wounds on her back. They saw, all of the adults saw it. She was most definitely stabbed by someone behind that curtain. They don't at all explain how this could be passed off as an accident. Like, did a piece of machinery do this? What? Someone fucking stabbed her. What do you mean? So that's the opening scene, setting up the rest of the movie. But this is just the beginning, of course. This is just the appetizer. Strap the fuck in. You look like someone who could use Freddy Fazcola. I'm not going to summarize every single part of the movie. I'm just going to hit, like, all the main points that I want to talk about here. So sorry if I jump around a lot. So, you know that cartoonishly evil aunt from the first movie? You know how she was like clearly killed by Golden Freddy on screen, and we saw her lying on the floor afterwards. As well, okay, she didn't get killed on screen, but like we saw her lying on the floor afterwards, in this sort of like creepy moment. They were clearly communicating that she died, right? Well, no. And this one, Mike is like, oh yeah, she was telling the whole town about the haunted animatronics, so they institutionalized her. So I guess she's alive? Was she like knocked out by Golden Freddy? Did he just scare her so bad that she fell down? Like, okay, I guess, sure. To me, it really feels like their intention was to have her dead in the first one, and then come this one, they like sloppily retconned it here, but whatever. I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy for being confused by that. The reason they did this, though, is so they could have this thing called FazFest. They keep mentioning it throughout the movie, even though it doesn't end up mattering very much, but like, apparently, the aunt telling stories about the animatronics being alive and killing people and all that caused such a stir in the town that it resulted in this like semi-ironic fandom based around the Freddy's restaurant and the characters and stuff. And it's so big that they set up like an entire Freddy's convention in the town, in this like small town in Utah. Like, I could maybe see this sort of thing happening today. We have weird crazes that pop up overnight because of social media and stuff. But like, this movie is set in 2001 or 2002. Like, I think this was just Scott's way to like cheekily write in the FNAF fandom into the movie as like a wink wink, nudge nudge sort of thing. Like, hey, look, it's you guys. It's so dumb. I have no idea why they insisted on this plot point. So Abby is going to school and she's making friends and stuff, doing kid shit, and then suddenly she's in robotics class. These kids, which are presumably in elementary school, like early middle school at the latest, right? These kids are like making machinery and like fiddling with circuit boards and stuff. They show like one kid making this like advanced factory grade robotic arm thing. Mind you, this is the early 2000s in a small town in Utah. Listen, okay, I might be sounding very CinemaSins right now. Like, that's not realistic. Plot hole, but like, okay, I know how to suspend my disbelief. This is a movie about haunted robots. Like, it does not have to aspire to a degree of perfect realism that maybe other movies do. FNAF is silly. But, like, there has to be, like, the tiniest amount of sense in the world, you know? Like, if insane, nonsensical things are constantly happening and characters are saying bizarro phrases that human beings would never say, like, if it's not written like a movie, I'm just gonna laugh. I won't be able to take anything seriously enough to be engaged with the plot. I just can't. The first movie had a lot of similar weirdness, but it wasn't nearly to this degree. It was tame enough that I could watch it and be present within the world of the movie and like care about what was happening to some degree. This one is just like constant insanity. Okay, sorry, I got distracted there. Let's move on. So, the robotics teacher, played by Wayne Knight. This guy was the funniest character in the entire movie, hands down. And the thing is, I don't think it was entirely intended. He was meant to sort of be a little comic relief. I mean, he's a character played by Wayne Knight, so he was meant to be kind of silly and bumbling, and there were some jokes involving him and whatnot, but for the most part, he was supposed to serve more as like a kind of secondary villain, kind of filling the same niche as the aunt from the first movie. He's supposed to be an asshole character that you hate and kind of cheer to see him kill. That's pretty standard for horror movies, right? So what's his motivation for being an asshole then? What does he do in the movie that makes him hateable? For some reason, the one character trait they give him is that he just like really hates Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. That's his entire thing. The first scene we see him in is him ranting about how stupid he thought Freddy's was and how like fake and gay it is and how the animatronics were like an affront to robotics and what they're doing is real robotics. Dude, what the fuck do you mean? These are animatronics that walk around on their own. That's like unheard of back then. This is state of the art. What are you talking about? He hates Freddy's so much that he goes out of his way to destroy Abby's Chica project for the science fair even. So I'm like, okay, clearly there's something deeper to this dude. He must have trauma related to Freddy's or something that they'll explain, or maybe he was directly involved with William and he's like trying to cover it up. But then later he just dies and they don't explain it. Like the guy was just a hater. That's the only explanation.
I can't believe all that happened because the teacher.
Also, banger dialogue alert. The teacher is like, or you can expect a big fat F. And then a kid's like, F for Fazfest? Get Scott out of the writing room. Okay, so the whole thing with Abby is that she really wants to see her friends, the animatronics from the first movie. So they go to Freddy's, but they're not there. They're missing. But Mike lets her take something home from Freddy's to make her feel better. And that thing is the Faz Talker, which I really, really like. I've been such a fan of this concept since they announced it. The idea of contextualizing the robotic minigame voice from FNAF 2, like the S-A-V, like that was as this little electronic kid's toy that talks is legitimately genius. It's so sick. The prop itself looks so good too. It's designed exactly how a toy like that would have been made. Like, I had similar things to this as a kid. It looks perfect. And the way they use it in the movie makes sense too. It's like the puppet is speaking to her through this thing, luring her to the old Freddy's location under the guise of it being her ghost friends. How the puppet knew about the other kids from the other location and how Abby was friends with them now, I don't know. Ghost magic, I guess. The puppet brings her to the old location. And the other part of this movie I unironically like is Toy Chica. This movie gives her a lot of screen time, which you'd think would be strange, like why Toy Chica of all the animatronics, but she ended up being really fun to watch. I love her interactions with Abby, I love her lines, I love her kills that she has. She was such a fun part of the movie. The line where she's like, just as I thought, nothing in there at all, after she crushed the teacher's head, like legitimately made me smile. It was great. I wanted more of that kind of thing with the other animatronics. Speaking of, the other animatronics, like the toy animatronics, have voice acting this time. And I was surprised by how much I ended up liking it. I was really worried at first when they announced the cast with like Matt Pat and Megan Fox, but I literally wouldn't have recognized either of their voices if I didn't already know about the casting. I think they were great, especially Kellen Goff. Of course, I knew he would kill it, and he did. Mingle didn't get a voice in the movie, which makes sense. They don't talk in the game. They just like make static noise. So everyone is like, oh yeah, they're gonna have static noise. Of course, that's like their thing. But in the movie, Mingle doesn't make static noise ever. I was really surprised. Maybe it happened somewhere and I missed it, but I didn't hear any. They made like monster screech noises when they attacked some people, but no static. Like, how could you not do that? That's such an iconic part of Mingle. Oh yeah, Vanessa. I forgot about Vanessa. There's this long scene of Vanessa like dealing with PTSD from her father. She's in a biking exercise class and she sees visions of him and it's like, ooh, and she's riding the bike, freaking out. And William's like, faster, faster. And oh no, she's going faster. She's gonna break the bike, I guess. So she freaks out, runs out of the room. And, oh my god, she thinks she sees him again, so she just fucking pulls out her gun in the middle of this gym, and there's this really funny shot where it's like this random guy with his hands up, and he's like, whoa, whoa, and then she just runs away. Girl, you gotta stop bringing your gun to Pilates class. You gotta stop bringing it to Zumba, Vanessa. So she goes home and there's this long dream sequence where she's being haunted by the image of her father, and he's like chasing her around the house. And then at the end of the scene, she whips out her gun again. That's all she knows to do. She's a cop, and shoots him. And he does this fall off the stairs. It's like slow-mo and everything. He goes, no. It's so funny. This movie is so absurdly unserious at every turn. I love it. I am kind of disappointed that this is the only Williams stuff we got. I really liked the Spring Bonnie part in the beginning, but this whole scene just didn't do anything for me. He was just kind of walking around and yelling a lot. I don't know. The thing is, too, they don't even resolve this plot point of, like, Vanessa being tortured by William. After the scene ends, that's just kind of it. I don't know if her shooting him was supposed to be the end, like her finally being free of him. But if so, that was weirdly quick. So I don't think that's what it was. All right. Anyway, the reason the puppet lured Abby to the old location was because there's a technological barrier where the puppet and the toy animatronics can't leave. So Toy Chica / the puppet convinces Abby to type in the secret code or whatever to let them roam free. And, okay, I gotta talk about the puppet more first. So the puppet, being the mastermind behind everything, was the obvious choice for this one. I think that makes a lot of sense, having her be the main villain of the second movie. There's no ghosts in this location. There's no second set of dead kids. It's just the puppet that's controlling all of the animatronics. A great decision to make. A shame she ended up being the worst part of this movie. She is poorly handled in almost every way. First of all, there's an aspect to the puppet that we didn't really see in any of the trailers or marketing. And that's that in this movie, the puppet now suddenly has the ability to possess humans. Yeah. Towards the beginning, these ghost hunters go into the original Freddy's. Michael Afton is there, by the way. He just kind of stands around doing his, like, evil eyebrows. He doesn't really matter here. The ghost hunters go there, and, like, the main ghost hunter lady finds the puppet, and she gets possessed by her. Not only is that, like, not something she's ever done in the games or books or anything, to my knowledge. It's super random, but out of left field, but it also just looks really stupid. Like, the cheesy puppet makeup with the glowing spooky eyes, it just looks dumb. It looks like thrown together puppet cosplay that someone would go to a convention in. It just didn't work for me. I didn't like it. Even if it looked creepy and was done a little bit better, I think the whole appeal of FNAF are the animatronics. That's what's creepiest about FNAF. And the puppet itself is scary. It's an eerie design. The way it moves is uniquely creepy. They could have done so many interesting things with her. So for them to, like, cop out and instead just go for this cheesy, half-baked horror movie cliche for a majority of the film, it's like, come on, man. There's also these little puppets in the water ride. Again, not from the games. They just made this up. I choose to call them the puppetlings. I don't know why they were even in the movie. They weren't scary. They didn't make any sense. They, like, ate a guy like piranhas or something. It just felt like they were coming up with excuses to not use the puppet animatronic. That's what it felt like. It was strange. The other thing about her is her whole motive. The whole thing is that she blames the parents for what happened to her on that night because none of them listened to her. So as revenge, she wants to kill all parents. That's why she wants to get out of Freddy's. She wants to send the toy animatronics out to just start killing parents, I guess. Which, like, okay. Obviously, this ghost is a child, so she's gonna think like a child. But there's something really funny about a horror movie where the killer is like, the reason I'm doing this is because I hate parents. Like, me and my girlfriend kept leaning over to each other and being like, I'm going to kill all parents and broccoli and homework and also bedtimes. The funniest part, though, is that Vanessa straight up says, my father killed her, but she doesn't blame him. She blames the parents. All parents. Like, Charlotte, what the fuck do you mean you don't blame the guy that killed you? What? I think it would have made a lot more sense if maybe she was going after the actual parents that were there and, like, screamed yourself at her. Like, a lot of them are probably still alive. It would make a little more sense. Or maybe if she just wanted to kill adults in general, like, you wouldn't have to even explicitly say it. You could just show that the animatronics are avoiding hurting kids, but going after adults specifically. That would make sense given what she's gone through, and it would line up with the games more. It's a simpler answer right there that I feel like they could have used. Okay, back to the plot. So the animatronics can now leave Freddy's, which means they get to go out into the real world. I was really nervous about this. This is my first inkling back when the first trailer was released and everything that something might be wrong. There's a shot of Toy Freddy out in the open air, walking through FazFest, walking through crowds of people cosplaying Freddy's characters. And I was like, this should not be in a FNAF movie. Fortunately, I don't think it ended up being as bad as I thought it would be. For a lot of this, I could at least turn my brain off and enjoy the dumb fun. Like the previously mentioned Toy Chica scene where she kills the teacher, I liked that. There's this part with Vanessa driving and Mangle's on the car trying to get her. Completely absurd concept, very unserious, but it was kind of fun. I liked it. But there's some parts that were a bit too far for me. There's this hilarious shot of Toy Chica up on the stage at the school science fair, and Abby has a big trophy, and the crowd is like cheering. Just seeing this shot reminds me of the movie I'm watching. Like, what is happening? And of course, there's Toy Freddy at the convention, and there's these kids that are talking about how cool his cosplay is. Like, wow. Never seen that joke in a movie before. The thing of, oh my god, it's actually the guy, but people think it's just a costume. Like, whoa. This time we have that deliciously corny Scott writing to accompany it, though. One of the guys is like, I don't know, this costume looks kind of fake to me. Just looks like a toy is all. Meanwhile, Mike is back at Freddy's, and he's dealing with the Wizards, which are called prototypes in this movie. And once again, an overall fun scene. Got to see the Wizards. That's what I was most excited about. They kind of like reenacted FNAF 2 a little bit. They look great. The office looks great. It was cute. I liked it for the most part. However, did they ever explain the facial recognition shit? They just kind of had it. I don't think it was ever explained by anybody. They just had like Terminator vision. Mike even did the whole thing of seeing the mask and being like, well, that'll never work. But that wasn't set up at all. So I was just like, what does that mean? Like, obviously, this thing is going to get the score from non-FNAF fans. What do you mean? Get Scott out of the writing. So now we get to the real good shit. It's the finale. Oh my god, the finale. This is where like any semblance of this being a movie is completely dropped. So they're like, oh no, Abby and the puppet are at the house. We gotta go save her. And we see Toy Chica putting Abby to bed, and suddenly her chest plate starts rumbling and cracking like a fucking dinosaur egg hatching. and it bursts, and Toy Chica goes like, oh! And the puppet's face bursts out of her chest like Alien. So, does that mean we get to see more of the puppet animatronic finally? Do we get to see it, like, stalk Abby around the house or do more creepy? No, it fucking possesses Abby. What? And God, once more, I'm sorry, it looks so dumb. It just looks bad. Like, even looking at the concept art they released, it's just so silly looking. In the movie, she's floating around and laughing and stuff. I just wanted to see the puppet more, man. So Mike comes in with the music box that Henry gave him. Henry's in this, by the way. I didn't really talk about him. He holds it out and plays it, and it sends the puppet out of Abby's body. Okay, great. Is that the end? Is that the end of the movie? Are we done? No. It gets even more insane. So all the toys show up at the house. They're ganging up on him. And then Michael Afton appears. That weird eyebrow guy from before. He's like, hiya, sis. And he goes on this like evil monologue about how he's carrying on his father's legacy by like killing people with the toy animatronics. And oh my god, another banger delivery. Just in time for Faz Fest. I wish I could, just for a couple of hours, wipe my memory of the FNAF games completely out of my head so I could watch this movie as someone completely disconnected from the franchise, just to experience what it feels like. Because this part would be so fucking funny. It already is, but like even funnier. Like this evil brother just shows up and starts talking like Sephiroth and talking like about his evil plans. Okay, but hold on. I wasn't ready for what happens next. I could not have been ready at all. He sicks the toys on him. He's like, kill them, break their bones. And it's like, oh no, how are they gonna get out of this one? And the FNAF 1 animatronics show up from the first movie, and they save them. They save the day. And at this point, I'm dying in the theater. I tried my best to be quiet still. I was losing it. I was like, I cannot. There's no way I cannot believe they did this. This is the best movie ever made. This is like peak movie experience. The Freddy gang come in and they triumphantly save the day by killing the toys as like this like badass like Marvel hero moment where each of them show up behind the animatronics and kill them and strike this awesome pose. Every time they showed a new one, I was laughing harder and harder. It was magical. I'm still in disbelief. I cannot believe that was how they decided to end the FNAF 2 movie. We are FNAF! Okay. But we're not out of the woods. No siree, we're not. We have 3 minutes left in the movie. So the OG FNAF animatronics, they start breaking down. And it's like, oh no, they can't survive outside of the pizzeria. And Abby hits a life-changing line in this Five Nights at Freddy's movie. She's crying, and she looks at Chica, and she goes, are you going to heaven?
Are you going to heaven?
Also, Mike randomly tells Vanessa to fuck off. Like, there's no reason for it. I remember hearing several people in the theater laugh when this happened. She went through this whole traumatic thing in the first movie, and like her brother comes around in this one and it's like accosting her, and suddenly he's like, get away from me, I can't trust you anymore, and walks away. Why do people act like this in this movie? Go tell your parents. Oh, and Vanessa gets possessed by the puppet too, and she hits this evil face and the movie ends. That was the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. I am just amazed that this one came out like this. You can tell the script was absolutely rushed. Like, this was a 2-year turnaround. It's just wild how much of the writing deteriorated from the first one. And it was already fairly bad in terms of being an actual movie. Again, I liked the first one, but it was very, very divisive to begin with. So the fact that they were somehow able to go even lower this time and pull even more people to it's bad side, it's insane. I keep seeing that statement the director made about the low critic score where she's like, well, this movie isn't for you. It was for the fans. And it's really sad to see that sentiment made by a filmmaker. Like this mindset of, instead of putting all our energy and money into making a good movie, instead of that, like taking all of it and funneling it into just that sensational, pandery, like fan hype. Like the movie can be as bad and nonsensical as it wants, but as long as we put a bunch of awesome Easter eggs and references and like put in a bunch of YouTuber cameos and like have an after credits scene that makes everyone cheer in the theater, if we do all that, the fans will like it. And therefore we succeeded. We don't care what the critics say. the fans like it. It's just such an embarrassing way to make a movie, I think. I really hope the sentiment doesn't catch on with other video game adaptation movies. I will say, though, it was dog shit, but man, was it entertaining. I've now given up on the notion that these movies will improve now. I'm just going to assume they'll get worse and worse and that I'll get to laugh more and more each time. And hey, that's good with me. And I can't turn the FNAF side of my brain off. I'll admit that the after credit scene still got me hyped, even after being absolutely dumbfounded by the movie I just saw. I was still able to soy point at the screen and go, "Oh my God, Springtrap! Oh my God, they found one, a real one." I'm not made of stone, all right? And I am really, really excited to see the new sets, the animatronics. I assume they're going to do the phantoms and whatnot. That'll be cool to see. They haven't lost me as a little wide-eyed fan with the propeller cap and the big lollipop, okay? Just now, there's a major level of irony that has been introduced alongside that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed hearing me laugh about this movie for a whole video. I'm now going back to work on plushies again. Expect to see the next part of that in the first half of January, probably. And I'd like to thank my Skrunklies on Patreon real quick. Prism, April B, Adelaide Parade, Malin, Chico Mode, P. Williver, Fred Shrooms, Blargan Snurf, Siderian, Xeno Dude Face, Dominic, Sledmasters, The Papini Bros Emporium, Jurgen the Bull, Juliet with a Handgun, Kongman, JubeTube, Bubblegum Bitch, Secret QWERTY 10, Derpity Doo, MEB, Wow Wow Till It's Websy, Beta Afro, Samwa the ShamWow, Cracked Vinyl, Soxyfy, Null, Indigo, Pun Bum, Christophine Place, Mixed Media, Skillemalink, Your Local Puppy Girl, Ori, Medjed, Lotmon, Chimera Triplet, Yakgak 5000, LeGrant Stanley, Zine Original, June of Hammers, Leslie N, Biobugs, Ballbasher 69, Odd Knocked, Niall Price, A Swarm of Birds, OBS Cerberus, Ethel, Llama Cat, Amber Rain, Airy Crafty, Superbred T, Autobot Dan, Alex Richardson, Minnie May, Hex Kitty, Ego Kaskowitz, Tershi, Snake Fighter 64, Atticus Cox, Cassie Polt, Juicy Lucy, Foolish Bard, Grexius, Plebkull, Foxy, Souls Days, Vin, Slathy, Acute Leah, Soap Bubble, Dr. Nevag, Miss Umbra, Bop Boo, Shays 64, Candied Coder, Non-Binary Nightmare Bonnie Plush, The Aurora Boros, Mel MM2, Mayayo, Brandon Bone, and Jinxie's Juice. Alright, bye!